Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie, Master Energy Therapist and Intuitive Channel, and today we have Scarlett here with us.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, we're going to be sharing her energy session with everyone. And so I'm excited that you're here and really honored to have this opportunity. How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. I'm super excited.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. So I can already feel this energy coming in, like a party, kind of a reunion, kind of like excitement of your guides. They're so happy that you're here and we're connecting. I feel like it's a joyful celebration. They have a lot of, celebratory kind of frequencies and messages to bring through, and a little bit of alignments. They're saying a little bit of correction in the energy field. So I look at it sometimes like a chiropractic adjustment, just moving, your energetic body in a way.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you'll probably feel it. You'll probably feel it straight away. Yes. So let me tune in. I'll let you know who's here, any messages they have, straight away at the beginning. And then,
Okay.
yep, we'll flow after that. We will flow into the energy session. So we do a little bit of messages at the beginning. Okay. All right. So one moment here. Let me just connect in. Oh, yeah. You do. You have a beautiful team with you. I mean, I'm seeing like Pegasus and elemental realm. So hearts and stars and unicorns and fairies and rainbows, like all of this joyful, very colorful, beautiful frequencies. It's kind of like a pastel palette that I'm seeing. And you really much connect in, and especially they're calling it dream state, like dreamy time, where you're very connected with these higher dimensional frequencies that help you. They say it embodies or infuses so that you can embody peace, this feeling of acceptance and de stressing. There's this aspect they're bringing through about how human life can be so challenging in that we become oversaturated with stressful moments, stressful thoughts, the energy of everything, not only in our personal life, but the collective, and then it gets enhanced. So when you connect in with this realm, there's this aspect of like, it's all going to be okay. You can feel good. You can relax. This is a life. It's an earth life experience, but it's not eternity. And so they bring you into this frequency for peace and this space where you can feel a loving, comforting vibration. And it's definitely a very warm, nurturing, like love and peace. I was asking him about that joyful vibration, and that is in there, but the key frequencies are this calming sensation to help settle, let's say, the nervous system physically and energetically. So when we look at the heart chakra or the sacral, sometimes it can be spinning excessively or pulsating. And when I see it pulsating, that's when it's trying to read energy, and it's kind of like pushing back and forth to analyze before you pull it into your system. So, what they're sharing is it's a beautiful moment when you can go and connect in with this other realm and guides. It helps to calm everything down. So, that's one thing they're sharing with us today that's very active in your life right now. Does that resonate for you, or is this new info?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've suffered with anxiety my whole life. Now I no longer say that, but that is something I used to say that was very anxious, So recently and through the past couple of years, but especially this year, I've been able to really calm myself and connect in with them and breathe. And I think I held my breath for so many years, so it's a big thing to be able to breathe. And then when you said dream state, just recently I've been having the craziest dreams, and they're every night and they're very vivid. And
Mm.
sometimes it's like a lot of conflict, and I feel like the feeling I get from it is that I'm working something out in the dream world with
Mhm.
other people. Because when I wake up, I don't feel like, because it was very vivid, that I don't feel stressed or upset. I feel like something was being worked out, which is really interesting because I never felt that way about dreams before.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. And I can relate. I've had an enhancement of that this year too. And I feel like it has something to do with the energy that we're all flowing into and also our who we are, is like the gifts that we embody in this time and space, because we're here for a purpose and a reason. And I feel like it's, you know, what we're doing. So we are our humanness, we have our day to day. And then at night, it's like, okay, a little bit more. Let's see, what do we need to work through and finish, this conversation? And it is a conversation in spirit. And when you shared that with me, they were showing how the chakras were doing that pulsating dance, because that is what it
Mhm.
is. It's a conversation, it's working something out, and it's taking the energy into our aura just enough that we can decide if we want to bring it in further or hold it there to analyze. And sometimes we reject it and push it out. And sometimes we're like, okay, I align with this. I'm going to, get on board, sign up for, whatever it is that you're in agreement. So in the dream time moments when you're feeling that, some people would say that human reality is the dream and the active waking state is what we are in spirit. And
Right.
so that's what I heard. They're like, it's actually the waking state. You're very connected in and aware of other realms of consciousness, other frequencies and dimensions, and what's going on there. A couple of things that they're bringing through, um, you're redesigning, I'm hearing regoverning, and it goes into contracts and agreements. So it looks like you're in a transitionary space at the beginning. You haven't fully started the transition, but you're actively speaking with those who you've had past experiences with. And when I say speaking, it's, their soul, their frequency, and your guides are there and their guides are there. And then it's also going to flow into planning for the next phase. They're calling it planning for the next phase of revolutionary advancement. These are their words, revolutionary advancement. So it feels like collectively, and then also, of course, in your own life, things are going to be looking really different than what humans have felt they were to be or how it's flowed in the past. And so you're getting this heads up and you're preparing right now in your sleeping state. And I'm hearing this word clarion call, and the frequency is like this alert activation, kind of like, hey, you know, they're blowing this trumpet and they're saying, we are going to come together to make a decision, to come together to communicate about where we are, what's been going on, and where we want to go. So you're working with a larger group in the spirit realm, and at times you kind of like separate and go in with your own personal guides for counsel. You have your like little huddle, like your little football
Yeah.
huddle, and then you get out on the field. Um, so, so it's very active. But what I'm hearing is, yes, it's active, but it's beautiful. Like you're excited for it. You have everything you need to win the day. It's just like you've got it. And so it's this heads up. And to that, some of the healing and releasing is just getting clarification about what's to let go in the past. And this is where Archangel Jeremiel is coming in. He helps with that. He helps with life reviews, transitions, and really integrating the goodness and the messages and the wisdom from experiences so that you can consciously feel at peace as you let go of what doesn't serve you and then move forward to the next stage. So I'm asking, they're showing about 2 to 4 months out. And so at the time of recording, we're in August. So 2 to 4 months out is when you're going to hit that next upgrade. So that's when it will be implementation time. And right now is like the planning time, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah. And around that time is there's a lot going on, in my life. And so it's kind of, I feel like it's like, so it's interesting to hear that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I love to hear when like there's that confirmation you already know that that's going to be a big time for you because I did
Yeah.
feel it's personal, but it's also collective. And so it's going to be this like a overlapping part where you're going to be feeling
Hmm.
both. So that looks really good. They're bringing my awareness to look at your chakras. And so before I do that, do you have any questions about the messages that have come in?
Not so far.
Okay. What?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. So I'm looking, first of all, I'm just kind of viewing the color frequency. So, how saturated, how enhanced are the colors in your chakras? And your root and sacral look really bright. There's a little bit of a dimming, not so much of your chakras, but maybe it's your organs around your abdomen between the sacral and solar plexus. So that could be digestion. That's kind of what it looks. It just looks a little bit depleted. So I probably would
Hmm.
say today we can bring some energy in there to support that area. It's more physical, and then
Okay.
yeah, not so much like the chakras in that way. And then let's see, your solar plexus. Oh, it looks really good. Now your solar plexus is on guard, which is interesting. Yeah. So that is our oh gosh, our confidence, and how we share who we are with the world and how we move forward. I'm hearing determination, and there's some of that gut instinct in there that then is brought into fruition. Like then you have that awareness and you act on it. So there's a little bit of hesitancy there, and we'll probably get some
Hmm.
more information here in a minute. But I'm hearing projects, advancement. There's a little bit of hesitancy in how do I do this? A little bit of self
Right.
doubt, kind of in a sense, like, how do
Yeah.
I do this? What will it look like? What's the best way?
Hmm.
So, you're opening this space through our conversation, especially to receiving confirmation, support, and information. And so, we'll just kind of, let it flow through and leave it there. I'm not going to poke and pry at it, but it's just in this space. Your solar plexus is in a space of activity. And also, I'm hearing quiet contemplation. So, yes. When I see it, how I see this hesitancy is it hasn't fully pushed out into your aura. So, it's retracted a bit and it's just watching before it wants to interact.
And that's kind of how I feel. Like I feel like I really do some work on myself and kind of go up, up, and then I'll kind of just pause for a moment. And I feel like it's what you're explaining is kind of how it feels like in my life. Like I've paused for a moment and just kind of like, obviously I know I want to move up and move forward in my life, but it is funny because I am at that kind of like just sit still for a moment and
Yeah.
contemplate
Oh,
what my future could look like, and what exactly I want, because that's how I feel sometimes. There's so much I want, but what do I want, and do I have to know exactly what it is to move forward? And so that's kind of where I've been.
I love that you're sharing because, yeah, it's just that's where you are. There's no wrong or right. It's a beautiful place to be. And when the time for action is here, you'll know. That's what they're saying.
Right.
It's like you're just waiting, you're observing, and it's a little bit of a passiveness because you're like, is it time? Is it time? No, it's not. And you're also reserving your energy. That's why I'm not seeing it out in your aura expensed. And that's okay. We go through experiences and phases and seasons, but as you're actively prepping for what's to come, you're reserving energy and you're just waiting for the right time. So that's what, and that's, but okay, so that's one aspect. But the other aspect is your thoughts around it. they say that's where you're kind of like hesitant. So you're just
Hmm.
waiting, which is great because you want all the information, you want to be clear on things. And you'll know they're saying through multiple sensory systems. So your physical body will speak to you, your intuition will speak to you, your emotions will speak to you when the time is right. You'll get it. Like you'll totally
Right.
know. So it's great. Um, so for your solar plexus today, what we can do is if it wants any energy for support, if it feels like it needs more, it'll flow through. If not, we can put it kind of like in a little time capsule, like we put it in a bubble in your aura, and it's there when you
Hmm.
need it. That's what they're saying. So for the future. So that would be really
Okay.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now you're like just on reserves. You're just, you're waiting and it's perfect place.
Hmm.
And then you'll have that. Um,
It's really interesting to hear you, explain all of that. And I just enjoy learning, honestly. It's really
Oh,
nice.
good. Yeah, that makes me happy, especially like for you, because as you're listening, you're probably connecting dots and getting messages.
Right. Yeah, it's like, yes, and kind of all the confirmations as well. And just to hear it spoken instead of just feeling is nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. When we hear it, then every aspect of your being hears it too. So your
Hmm.
cells and your energy, your consciousness.
Right.
Yeah, and it just helps you. Oh, okay. I am accurate here. This is really happening.
Right. And also why it's happening and that it's okay and all those things. So
Mhm.
even just, hearing it out loud is nice.
Yeah, yeah. And I love when we get the messages validated from somebody who doesn't know what's going on in her life. It's like, okay,
Right.
for real, for sure. So let's see. Let me look at your heart chakra. So it's green, it's bright. I'm seeing a little bit of like a deeper color in there, little flecks and spark like specks of this deep color. And I'm asking
Hmm.
them, is it avoidant? Is it black? Like, are these little black or is it deep, deep greens? So one moment while I look. Okay, it's like these deep, deep greens that are like these little gemstones, really tiny, and
Hmm.
they're sitting in your heart chakra. They're seeds. Oh, there we go. They're like seeds. And they're going to
Thanks.
be, they're seated, they're there, and they're waiting to come into full bloom and to emanate and shine. This is like energy that you will be transmitting and sharing to others starting in 6 months and going throughout 18 to 24 months from now. So it's sitting there. And you're
Thanks.
cultivating, yeah, your resources and it will amplify and enhance as needed. So that's so pretty. There's a little bit of ribbons of energy between your heart and throat that's a little tangled. So we'll comb it out. It's not bad, but we'll comb that out. And then they want to charge the energy around your mind and your
Hmm.
throat for clarity, for clear communication and activation of awareness, like your conscious awareness. So we'll be working on that today and bringing some energy in to support and fuel you up and stabilize. How does that sound?
Sounds nice. Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let me see if they're wanting to start here. Let's see or if there's any other messages. They're saying we can begin. And so I'll be bringing in some energy frequencies to help stabilize, and it will come through your energetic aura. So, your field, first of all. First, I see this beautiful red frequency. It's like a ruby red. It's so rich and supportive and strong. That will come in. And then we're going to flow. Probably they might bounce around different colors of the rainbow, but that's first to help you ground into the experience. And by that, it's like it will stabilize your aura and help activate the space to hold you. The way that I best can describe it is when I have these experiences, I know I'm connected to my physical body. And so that's what we'll be feeling is like this connection to physical body. And yeah, it looks really, really good. So you can relax and feel the frequency, and then I'll bring through messages Do you have any?
I close my eyes. Is that
Yeah, you
okay?
can. Yeah.
Okay.
So I know
Awesome.
for those who are watching on on YouTube, our eyes are going to be closed. But and also for viewers and listeners, typically when I share back the recordings, I will speed up that part. So, like, if it takes us 5 minutes, it might be 30 seconds for the listener. But yeah, so we'll flow into some energy work and then I'll be bringing messages back through. We'll connect in a minute just to talk about that so everybody can hear how your experience went.
Okay. Sounds
All
good.
right, beautiful. So there's a lot of this beautiful red energy, and it's beginning around your feet and legs and coming up in your aura still. And it's so pretty because there's a lot coming in. It's really strong. And I love that because your body is very receptive to receiving. And they're bringing some energy. I'm seeing your heart really being charged up. It's so pretty. A lot of warmth is coming in. And I see your sacral chakra pushing some energy out. So you're clearing this fuel, this frequency that's coming in is giving you a boost in strength. And it's helping you to move energy, but also I can see a lot of thinking of, okay, like looking around, what should we release? Is there anything no longer a part of your life path or energies of others that you're holding? And so it's gently detoxing your sacral chakra. And what's interesting is I see it releasing from the front. So typically that means it wasn't yours to begin with, or there isn't an energetic frequency that you need to transmute on your own, or information and messages that pertain to your mission or to you. It's just energy that really isn't yours, so that's clearing. And we're stabilizing the back of your sacral and solar plexus. Some beautiful energy coming in here. I feel like a brace, like it's just helping you hold yourself with confidence and assurity, feeling and knowing support, and knowing who you are and how you will be moving through with relationships in life and how you will be working with yourself and others in life. So it's how we walk forward and present ourselves. Sacral chakra is more of those intimate inner circle relationships, your intimate like sexual relationships, your best friend relationships, and then your solar plexus is more outer circle, people you're never going to see again, just those of the collective or your community, or the outer aspects of colleagues and work life. So that is all being stabilized here. also stabilizing the back of your heart chakra, and I see there will be a release coming up out the front of your throat. So they're just holding your body in a really secure space energetically, so when that release comes, it'll be smooth and easy. There's a lot of purple around your brow chakra and your physical eyes. A little bit of indigo too. That's really beautiful. And you'll feel the energy releasing now, and it's coming up from your gut, up past your heart, and out your mouth. So if you feel the calling to yawn, breathe deep to express it, or you might have a sneeze or a burp or something come through, but if you help it, then you probably won't have the burp. So that's really good. That's really good. There's this beautiful orange frequency that reminds me of tangerine or the orange fruit, and that is fueling your aura right now. It's coming in and really filling you up with light, and it's this joyful zest for life. And your sacral chakra is taking some of it, but this is mostly related to your aura, so that's really good. Okay, so I just saw this little critter release that was in your gut, and it came out through the mouth chakra, and that's just the easy pathway for it to come out because we have a physical opening of our mouth, so just, it's nice. And so this was just like a little energy that would influence your thoughts and feelings about yourself, and that has cleared. So it's running away. It's really nice release. Yes. Yes, so that energy that had cleared was, I don't know if it was like purposefully, actively working with your sacral chakra, but it was influencing your sacral chakra. So you might notice that now you have a stronger, cleaner clarity with your emotions and thoughts of yourself and those more intimate relationships, and also probably an enhancement of that vitality, that fuel and desire when it comes to implementing any creative projects. So you might have had a thought like, oh man, I would love to do this, or I love to do that, but then the energy hadn't really been there to support it. Well, now that some of this energy's cleared out and we're charging you up, you might feel that more of a support moving forward. So it's looking really beautiful, and they're actually showing you writing, and I do see the old school number 2 pencil with paper. So writing and getting thoughts out on paper. And it's funny that they show a pencil, but they're like, well, because you're going to erase, and you're going to be like, well, I did feel that way. Now it's gone. Let me erase that and now write out how you're actually feeling, or the updates and the changes to the thought that you want to place on paper. And this can be in your own creative process with self, so like journaling or projects you're working on. And it can also be messages that you're writing out specifically to share it with somebody like in the immediate now, like that day or something. So that's looking really, really good. And they're showing me now that we're clearing a little bit. By clearing, I just want to say we're just doing a little bit of cleaning from your throat up to your ears. So the meridians here, these pathways, they're just doing a little bit of like flushing it with light, flushing it with water, kind of, you could say. It's energy, of course, to clear that out and they're saying clear a little bit of gunk out. And I'm asking them about the circumference if we need to dilate it at all. And they said no. So it's just getting rid of any debris there. And then you'll have a clearer connection with your communication, hearing others and speaking to, so that you're on the same page, kind of that way that you can navigate. By that, I mean you can maneuver your energy to get a nicer connection with somebody in conversation. Sometimes we can talk to people and we're like, we're not even on the same page. Like, I don't understand you and you don't understand me. And so this will help you to make any adjustments within yourself so that you can connect with them. But it's not that you're going to find that you'll then be influenced. And by that, I mean, like, sometimes we're like, okay, my thought perspectives on things are completely different. I see the world in a different way. But let me go into this vibration where I can understand where you're coming from. But you're not going to get stuck there. You'll come back to who you are. So you won't feel that you've been, I'm hearing, influenced or saturated or like caught in that program of how they function. So this is really nice. It's going to actually bring you more strength in your autonomy and sovereignty, but also implementing this vibration of compassion and care and concern, and that you can be there for them. So that looks really pretty. And to that, as they're showing your communication, I see out in your energy field about 2 feet off your body, right in front of you, so heart, throat area, this beautiful frequency. It's purple sparkles. It's not fully like maintaining an orb. So it's like floating. And within it is vision. Like, I see holograms playing out. And so this is where you do a lot of your creation and your thinking and your messages, like you're analyzing or watching and viewing what's happening actively now and things in the future. So when you're in meditation and you get messages and visions, it's almost like it's actively being projected in front of you and you can see it. Do you see that with your inner eye, or do you feel like, how do you typically tune into spirit and messages?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely see, but not so clear as you would see things. And also it comes as just a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the message is never like straight words, or it'll be, channeled through me when I say something, and then I'm like, that wasn't mine. Um, but are you just speaking of like in meditation or?
Well, in meditation is when it's really nice because we're quiet and we're presently tuned in, but it can happen at any point in time,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just like kind of in
I'll
those
speak
moments.
with my voice, and you know what I mean, to spirit and
Yeah.
or my angels and my team. I'll speak to them often, and I'll just listen for any signs. But mostly, I get a lot of like angel numbers. That's like constant communication, at least 20 times a day. I have my answers questioned through numbers, and it's always spot on. And you would think, oh, if it's 555, you look it up every day, it's the same, but it's not. It changes because it'll change. And I recently got messages that were completely different than anything I ever got, and it was very interesting to see it all play out. And but yeah, that's how I speak to them, is mostly just through numbers. And it's been amazing to know that they're there and feel their support, even though I don't always know exactly what it is. I have like a sense of what it is, and it's nice.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh my gosh, and you're bringing through the aspect of it's not always the same. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways to that. And it could be the resource shifts, a website or a book, but
Right.
even at
That's what
that,
people would say if I told them. They'd be like, well, it's going to shuffle, but it's not, because that message was meant for me,
yeah,
and that's why I seen it. Yeah.
exactly. And that's how you find it. But not only that, like sometimes I'll read the message, it's the exact same words, right? But it just hits different. You're like,
Right.
oh, I can see how that applies in a very specific way to the moment,
Right.
like what I'm going through now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That happens to me often. Yeah. Like I'll get the same message, and I've gotten it over time, but it means something different each time to me. I'm like, yes, I understand. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much. Yeah. So the angel numbers they're showing like, a beacon, a guiding light, like a compass, helping you on your path. And the frequency is around your aura, holding your space for support. And so the messages come through with support. The vision that I see in front of you is more like your conversations, either with yourself or your guides or
Mhm.
your intentions. Like if you have visions and dreams for your future, you'll kind of think about it or feel it. And then I see this whole vision in front of you. And the really neat part of it is this gorgeous purple color, like a grape purple. It's like a vibrant purple or an amethyst purple, you could say. Really
That's
pretty.
funny you say amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge one for me. I almost named my daughter Amethyst, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've told a lot of people, or a lot of people have said that I seem like I would have like a purple aura. They can't read auras, but just purple,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
definitely.
they're definitely tuning in and sensing. And purple is a beautiful color. I mean, just feeling the color of purple and amethyst, I don't even have the full on words for it. But when we go back to like textbook, description of purple and the purple gemstones for the energy body, that's all the brow chakra and the crown, so it will make sense too that when you're creating, you're using your thoughts and your intentions. But what I loved is how you said it's this knowing, and that's that
Hmm.
clairsentient gift, and that's the heart chakra. So the wisdom and the direct downloads and knowing through like step by step, or you could write it out. That kind of knowing can be the crown chakra in the mind. But that knowingness within our heart, it's like I just feel this knowing. I just have this knowing, it's all around me. And so it's a beautiful combination of all of that. And the colors, I know we were looking at the beginning of your chakras are really bright now. Some of them were a little bit more dim, but you were just depleted. So it's all charged up. And then that helps me to see a little bit easier in your aura. So the more energy coming in amplifies the visions for me. I can see it's just crisp and bright, the frequencies. So that looks really beautiful. Let me see. They're showing me something here. So the back of your chakras they were holding to stabilize, and they showed me like a spiral kind of around the front of your body, pressed against you. And so I was like, what are you showing me? And they're like, we're getting the chakras to spin. So they're starting to spin them up now. These are your guides. I'm definitely seeing your heart and throat. And as they.
I can feel it. I felt it during the whole thing. It was almost like a pulling in the front, and then I felt something being pulled from my back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where my heart is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's where I had one of my biggest releases was through one of your videos and just pulled right out my heart. It was nice.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. They're showing as they like get it spinning at the front, they take their hands, because this is your guides, take their hands off your back. So now your whole system is going to start spinning and regulating and amplifying. So you'll be in balance. That's really cool. It just reminds me of like a top spinning. So you're in balance now. Um,
Hmm.
and the chakras spin. So we can say that they've enhanced and increased the frequency and the strength of them. Now, when that happens, you're going to find clarity and you might feel more sensitive, but it's because, for you specifically, it's because more information is reachable, or you can connect in and access more information. Um, your aura is still very strong and vibrant. So it's not that too much is coming through. You can actually regulate how much you receive. But this is a knowing of information. And it's not, I don't feel, from what I can see and I'm looking at, I'm observing, I don't feel it will affect or influence you emotionally. It's more like, oh, okay, I'm reading the situation and you still have your aura really strong. So sometimes when the aura is not strong, we feel extra sensitive or more tuned in and emotional, but we're pulling in and we're now holding the energy of others. That's not it at all. You're going to be more alert and aware, but you won't be saturated with energy from somebody else. It's going to stay past your aura, beyond it. So your chakras are really strong and bright, and a strong chakra system helps the energy of your aura to stay full of light and really strong and buoyant. So really, it's exceptionally healthy, everything that I'm seeing, what they're sharing. And to that, they want you to know that you're going to get messages faster. So when something comes through, you might just think that thought straight away and be like, whoa, okay. And there won't be any doubts, because we talked about clairsentience. You're going to know, you're going to feel that that thought is accurate. So they're saying it will be like double speed or maybe 3 times. So in the past, if you had a thought and maybe within 30 seconds you get the message, now it
Mhm.
might be 10, 15 seconds. So, and to get the message means not only do you receive, but you accept, like you've decided that is the message. So it's the whole
Right.
process of receiving and being on board with it, or not, or being like, nope, that's not what I want. Like, that's not what I want. Thanks, try again. So,
I do keep getting this message, which is the only one that's been a little confusing to me, but not confusing, but just more of I don't know which way to go about it. But I keep getting the message, and I know you've said before, 1, 2, 3 times, it's like, hello,
ah,
trying to tell you something. And it's been over 3 times, many times. They're telling me to seek out a mentor or a teacher.
okay.
And to me, you're my mentor. But which way do I go about that is kind of, and I asked my guides, but I don't know if they can tell me the way that they can tell you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's so funny because the Amy that I am, not a message from them, I'm waving like, hi. And then you're like, yeah, we can work together. So obviously, like, you can work with myself and others, and, one on one or through our work that we share with the public for sure.
Hmm.
I'm seeing books for you. And I'm
Books,
getting,
yeah.
yeah, I'm getting it's a collection. Like, you might feel that you have one or two humans that you resonate with, that you would be like, okay, I really resonate with their style of practice and, their
Hmm.
viewpoints, and then you want to work with them, or with their messages, the essence of them that they
Hmm.
share in their offerings. But I'm also getting that you're going to find probably over the next 6 to 9 months a little bit more energy of ascended masters coming in. So, to that,
Okay.
they're not in a physical body, but same thing, you're reading their words, you're meditating, tuning in with their essence and what they have to share with you. And I am seeing cards. Are you working with oracle cards?
I'm not.
Okay, there you go. I'm seeing oracle cards for
Okay.
you. And you could look at the oracle card and whomever you're working with in spirit as you're reading the cards, which very well could be your team and your higher self, or you could call
Hmm.
in an archangel. And, to that we say we call in, and people can vocally call in. But once you start working with ascended masters and angels, it's more like you just set your space and you feel who's there, who are
Right.
you in
Hmm.
alignment with? So then they can be your mentors as well, working with you through the medium of the oracle cards. So you'll probably have one or two that you really feel at this time in your life you resonate with to work with, like one or two people. Um, but they say you can be open to messages through other platforms, other mediums like books, videos, even music. And
Yeah.
so the mentor aspect they're saying is to help you feel supported and stable, and also to bounce off ideas or your experiences, like, hey, I felt this, this is what I'm getting. Are you receiving the same information, or is there something else to add to it? And that's where that sense of, I'm hearing, community and mentorship can come in. So, very much so. And at the Spirit School, we have the Telegram chat. And so, if you join
Hmm.
the Telegram chat and connect with others, you'll have a community of others who are, let's just say, like, they have the same understanding about energy, or they're learning, or they're awakening. And
Right.
we can have these conversations that maybe we don't with other people in our life. So you might find community as well for yourself. But yeah, they're saying it's to help you have a grounded reality. And I think that coaches and mentors and therapists are amazing. You know, they help us to sort through what we're experiencing and get clarity with it. And also to give additional information. So, as far as mentorship, that's kind of what they're sharing. Does it pair up with what you've received, or do you have a specific question from that information?
No, that was great and that helped a lot. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that really clears everything up
Yeah, good, good. Oh, I love
and give
that.
me some ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, we're all human. We all are different experiences in life. We all are at different ages and all of this. I feel we can always use a mentor, a
Right.
healer, like a
Yeah, I just wasn't
therapist.
sure if they meant like a person or,
Yeah.
just knowing that it can be a collection of all these things, it's just for support. And like you said,
Hmm.
really helps clear up the message because that's me. I analyze and think, I'm like, well, which way do I go about this? What exactly does it mean? So it helps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what's fascinating to that is the more that you enhance your intuition, then you can often receive a lot of information. And so it's
Hmm.
nice to have a mentor to, comb through it and organize it and speak with us on it. And I know we do a lot of it on our own with journaling and meditating and speaking with our guides, but sometimes there's just that little bit you're like, okay, I really want to talk to somebody else and see how
Right.
they can help support it. And your guides are saying that it's about the physicality, the physical realm, and having a human who can understand what it's like to be in the body at this particular time and space. And also, the mentor that you would select would have access to spirit information like you have. So they're going to be very understanding when you say, hey, I got this message. They're not going to be like,
Yeah.
who told you? It's not going to be like face in
Right.
physical world. Like, what? Did you get
Yeah.
an email? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're able to tell the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
set up a presentation.
Yeah, this is how I work with spirit. And yeah, so this will really support you in that way. They're showing me around you a lot of gold and green right now, which is so pretty. So you have a beautiful healing aura. And at the beginning of our session, which was very fascinating because I'm seeing now the colors that came in, were like the pastel colors, right? For the
Hmm.
worlds in the realm that you connect with for peace and calming energy when you need that. Your energy is coming through in jewel tones. So that frequency, and I'm seeing.
Gold and green have always been what I see when I'm doing like energy work,
Mm.
with you. And when I close my eyes, it's always very bright gold and green, very, very prominent colors. So it's interesting to hear.
That's so perfect. Yeah, well, green is that frequency of, healing and Archangel Raphael and earth energy. And gold is one of the highest vibrations of healing, also. It's healing and protection and cleansing vibration. It's very strong and stabilizing. So that's so pretty, that I don't know, I just love those colors. I love all colors, but specifically what they mean. And then here they're
Yeah.
showing that as a frequency that you carry. And although we spoke about purple, I felt like purple was a lot of your kind of like when you're thinking about stuff and you're in your own little world, like daydreaming or
Hmm.
meditating. And this green and gold is out all around your aura. And so that would be what people see when you're working with them in energy healing or you're bringing that vibration through. So it's really beautiful. I love how there's this aspect in all different facets of who we are and what we can channel and bring through for particular stages in life and moments and experiences. So it's so beautiful. And I'm seeing your energy stabilize and calm, like they're putting a bow, like, okay, we're holding space around your aura, and you'll be doing some integration energetically for the next few weeks, probably. And it's going to be enhancement. So, as one aspect of you integrates, and it's like, okay, we're clear and balanced and strong so that more light can flow through, then you'll feel okay. Another little layer will go through that process. It'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. How are you feeling with everything?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I feel good. Feels nice.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Um, and do you have any questions or anything to share with our listeners?
See, it's like I know I have questions, but where have they gone? Hmm. None on my mind at the moment. I can't think of any.
Okay, beautiful. Well, you know where to find me if something pops up in the future. Um, but journaling for sure will really help you. They're saying to work anything out, and they want you, they're showing me music. So I think they're going to
Music.
start to talk to you through music, and it can be the sound wave
Okay.
frequencies that bring in codes and healing energy that we don't put words to, but it could also be the lyrics too of songs.
Hmm.
So I love that. Here it's like, okay, you've been working so much with numbers and you still will be, but they're going to
Hmm.
probably add into that music. And
Yeah.
when you're ready, then you can actively add in oracle cards.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something I'm interested in. And I wasn't even thinking about it, so it's nice to know. And I feel like that will help me communicate as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely. Well, thank you for sharing your, private messages and information with everybody on our podcast today. I really appreciate it. And the healing aspects, I think we all can feel into the frequencies. And to me, it's supportive. If I'm having a funny day, like let me listen to a message from the guides, and we can get that in all kinds of spaces. So sometimes it is nice to turn on an episode and hear, be reminded of information. And I feel that what's come through today from your messages will really help to support others as well. So I really want to thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on your show and your beautiful energy work. And it's been really nice.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. And thank you to all of our viewers and listeners for joining us today on the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I look forward to connecting with you all again on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.